The Fargo Five. I'm Conrad Fargo. This is the city of ice and fire. What does that mean? What is going on in this north of normal metro? Well, you're going to find out one person at a time. We have with us today Erik Hill from Immersion LLC. Hello, Erik.
Hey, how's it going?
Fantastic. Thanks for coming into the show today. Yeah. So you own Immersion LLC.
Correct.
Which is a cold plunge. Mm-hmm. So basically it's like the Polar Bear Plunge almost, where you just jump into the cold water.
Yep.
What on earth made you decide to start such a thing? How long has this been in the works? What was the very first kernel, like the very, very, very first spark of this idea?
It started back when I came home. I'll backtrack a little bit. So during deployment, I just got back in October 2023, and
deployment. So you're in the military.
Yep, correct.
I did not know
13 years of Army Reserve.
Oh my goodness.
I'm in the Army Reserve as of right now.
So you were deployed. Where did you go?
We were home station was Kuwait, and then we
out in the Middle East,
out there in that area.
Wow.
Yeah, we had a few guys go outside of the country, but nothing too crazy.
How long were you out there?
It'd be, I think it was 10 months total.
Oh my goodness! Yeah. So almost like a study abroad, but far more dangerous.
Yeah, it's kind of westernized over there.
It
depends on where you're at.
Okay, and this was in 2023.
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So So throughout the deployment, I read a bunch of entrepreneur books. So because I didn't want to go back to my normal job, that was kind of the whole idea. I actually wanted to get into real estate, by the way. No, you're in the real estate.
Yes, I am. I'm a realtor at Berkshire Hathaway. Now, if you bring it up, I got to say I'm a realtor at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Premier Properties. Every time. I'm legally obligated. Yeah. What was your original job, though?
I've had a bunch of regular different jobs, but I went from doing underground, which was, water main, sewer main, and storm sewer. It's all construction background based. Yeah. And then I went from to supplier. And it's more of a warehouse type of job, a lot laid back, not as demanding. I just didn't want to do that the rest of my life. And I've always wanted to help people as well. I just didn't know how or what direction but that comes back to not doing hard things and actually taking yourself seriously. So
you always wanted to help people, and so maybe that's why you joined the military. Is that same? You're probably much braver than the average person, right?
Yeah.
You want to get out there, help people. You go to Kuwait. That's 10 months there, and you're reading entrepreneur books. What books were you reading?
So there was Military Millionaire. That was a big one. So that guy actually, he was in the Army, and then he learned how to house hack and all these other things to become wealthy, which is a smart idea. And it kind of makes me mad when I was younger because it's like we totally could have done that, But I digress. So it's like you learn he helps you learn just different ways to use our TSP, which is that is like the savings plan for a normal person, like a 401k, but the military has their own.
I see.
So he teaches you how to utilize that as well. So it's a lot of good information for someone that is in the military. But
sure.
I was kind of reading that, and then I came home. That's when kind of like shit went south.
Whoa!
Oh, sorry. Not supposed to say
That's
that.
Yep, we dumped that.
Okay.
Go ahead. Gotta be very careful. We are on the radio.
Oh yes. Sorry. do apologize. That's when everything started to go downhill. Dealing with over there was more of stress, just with jobs and stress and anxiety coming back home.
Yeah.
And just not feeling like I was fitting in. I guess because there was like a power struggle. People I haven't heard many people talk about it, but when your wife's in charge or your whoever who is in charge for so long, then you come back home.
Yeah.
Like me, I do not recommend that. I came in like a wrecking ball.
Because you're gone. You're out of. So you left the home. Do you have kids? Did you?
Yeah. I got 2 kids.
I didn't even know that. How old are your kids?
Henry, he's 5, and then Arthur, he's 3.
Oh my goodness.
So they're
same age as my kids.
Yeah, 18 months apart.
Okay, it's 2 boys.
Correct.
Well, I got 2 girls. We got to get them together. Well, that's very cool. Mine are also 5 and 3.
Yeah.
So you deploy, and when was this? 2023.
Yep.
This was recently.
Yeah. October,
so they were like 3 and 1 years old.
It's like, yeah. So
when did you join the military?
I joined in June of 2012.
Okay, so you had been in the military for a long time, but then you were also doing odd jobs on the side. So you were burning the candle on both ends. You were working for the military, digging underground, doing all that stuff. You want to help people. You get deployed, so you say goodbye to the wife and kids.
Yep.
And then you're over there being like, gosh, I cannot go back to having a job.
Yeah.
When I get back, I gotta be an entrepreneur. And then you come home. Now the wife has been in charge for 10 months.
Yep.
She's got a system with the 5-year-old and the 3-year-old, and she's and you come in, like you said, like a wrecking ball.
Yeah.
So you say, "All right, Daddy's home. This is how it's going to be."
Yeah.
That didn't turn out so well.
Yeah, I don't recommend that. And but that's one thing that you learn is, well, I guess being gone, I struggled with guilt and a lot of other things of being gone. But granted, I know that, I signed that line of saying, hey, I'm doing my duty. And that's always been part of me.
So much to give. I can't imagine. I couldn't imagine. And how much strength and I don't know, bravery it must take to agree to do something like that so that you can, your thoughts are, I want to go and defend my country. I want to go and make the world a better place. And then you sacrifice such a sacrifice, and then you come in like a wrecking ball.
Yeah. Not recommended. Just to throw a perspective, like ever since I've been gone from my family, probably a little over 2 years total when I've been gone. Yeah. So it's like you think about, then you start stuff to get in your head like, ooh, I'll never get that time back with them. Yeah. That's a big one. Yeah. And then seeing them grow up, and like my youngest he was potty trained. He was getting his own clothes. Like he was very independent. And I left when he wasn't. So seeing that struggle and then adjusting back to, normal life, civilian life, it was a hard adjustment.
It was almost a culture shock.
Yeah.
You were living a whole other life over there, and then you come back and then you realize like, oh, am I not good enough? Do I belong here? Am I a good father? Like you start having all these, that's where that downward spiral went. And that's what I talk about with, even though I didn't see combat, I'm not trying to claim that at all, but just from the stress, anxiety from leaving to coming back home and even being angry, like that was a big one too. The way that the military treats its service members who are human beings, that itself is clearly very traumatic. You can't just pull a human being out of their life, send them far away, and then pull them back and telling them all what to do. Clearly, there's results of that. Yeah. But you came back. I hope things have mended and are going much better now.
Yeah, and that's how where you were going into plunging.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a part of my business. So high stress, high anxiety, guilt, anger, all these things. Especially like my old self would just swallow it. Yeah. Because like, oh, I'm a man. I'll deal with it later.
Yes, absolutely.
But it's not recommend. I know there's some people that say that, ooh, you got to be tough. But if you hold on to that burden and you don't talk to anybody, because that's also what happens too, is you self-isolate, because then your circle's already small.
Absolutely.
And you feel like nobody will understand you because they haven't been through what you have.
And I'll say this, bottling it up and pushing it down, it takes strength. It does. Like, that's not wrong, okay? Yeah. So there's a certain kind of strength to bottle that down. Mm-hmm. But it takes even more strength to take it out, air it out, fix it, and clean it. Yep. Right? Like, there's nothing, and it's healthier, but it's harder. It's easier to just ignore it. It's easier to just forget about it, pretend it's not happening, and just hope that it goes away on its own. Yeah. But you've done what needs to be done, it sounds like here. You've actually taken it out. You've changed yourself. You've grown. Obviously, you show a propensity for growth. You're reading those self-help books, those which people maybe poo-poo or whatever, but they've helped you dig your way out, find your way out, start your own business. And so you had the idea of like, I cannot have a job. I need to be a business owner. I need to be in control. I need to take control of my destiny. You got home. And when did the rubber actually, so it's just in your heads. Yeah. But when was it like, okay, this is how it's going to be. This is how soon after getting home? Because that was not long ago. You said you were deployed in 23, or when did you come home?
Yeah, October. It was rough. It was mid-October.
October is when you came back. So you were deployed in the very January, and then.
So what was
Anyway, it's
Yeah.
close enough.
Yeah.
Enough. You come
There was a
home
weird
just
timeline.
before Halloween, and then things get really spooky, and you
Yep.
decide. When
Yeah.
did the rubber hit the road? Because that was
that
when did I
was-
meet you? Soon after.
Yeah, that was like midway through November.
Yeah.
is when I filed
Last
my,
year.
Yeah, I filed
4 months
for-
ago.
Yeah,
Wow!
Filed
I
the
did not
LLC.
realize you are moving fast.
yeah. I've had a lot of help and a lot of people kind of transition. So yeah, it might seem like a month and a half of my timeline, or a little over a month.
Yeah.
But that just shows how quickly you can go down the rabbit hole of
Yeah.
I mean, basically,
things
if you want
going.
to call it depression or whatever it was.
yeah.
So I went to obviously therapists, and then they have a pill for this, pill for that, and I don't know if not too many people know me, but I do not like to take pills. Even if I don't even remember last time I got a headache, but even if I did,
Yeah.
I don't take anything.
Yeah.
I just ride it out.
Yep.
That's just I don't like
Be
taking
tough.
stuff.
Be a man.
Yeah.
Right? It's that same. I think it's that same. I struggle with those same. I mean, some people call it toxic masculinity, but I think it's a cope. I think we have to learn to be that way, because when we complain, nobody wants to hear about it anyway, right?
Yeah.
I think it's tough being a man. I think men have their own issues that we struggle with. But you dug your way out, and then
So I randomly
I
found,
met you last year. When did you join? I mean, I can't believe
Yeah, it was
that timeline is so on top of us.
Was it January? I
Yeah.
think I met, yeah.
Because I met you through the Small Business Connect, which is one of
Yes.
my many networking groups that I'm a part of.
Yep.
And we met there, and you came in kind of with a lot of questions, but you seem to have a lot of answers. And so I work with a lot of small business owners. I know a lot of small business owners, and
Yep.
I did not realize. This is a compliment to you. I did not realize that
Yeah.
you are so green in all of this, because
Very new.
you are making it happen.
Yeah. That's one thing.
You were just jumping in both feet. You're plunging into it.
Yeah, kind of what happened also with that whole self was back in February. So I had to make a decision because I knew it took almost 2 months to get the plunge. So I was like, okay, I can't make money until I have the plunge.
Yes.
But I was still waiting on my loan for money.
Yeah.
So what happened was we ended up getting like our taxes back, I think right around, or whenever it was like, whenever you could file them, somewhere in March, I think. Yeah. But anyways, so they call me, the plunge company I'm buying this off of, and it says, hey, we're running a promotion, $4,000 off, and you can put down however much you need and they'll finance it. And thankfully, like, I had an extra, at the time we got our taxes back, so I had to have a I didn't really have a conversation with my wife, I'm not gonna lie. I know
There's
she
that
still,
wrecking
she
ball
still
again.
gives me grief about it. But I was like, okay, if I can't make money until I have the plunge, because that's the whole idea, plunging in sauna.
Yep.
So I just made a gut call. I called them. They're like, yeah, you need to put at least $3,000 down. Plus, we'll give you $4,000 off. So I was like, boom.
Yeah.
And I just, I said, I was just like, yep, we're doing it. So I paid all of it and got it ordered. So that was like more of the realization of like, holy, it's happening.
Wow.
I ordered it. It's on its way. Then you need to figure everything else out.
And then you guys soft opened recently. That was
Correct.
How long have you been soft open?
That was, what was it, a week ago? A little over a week ago?
Okay.
Yeah.
And then coming up is going to be
the
big grand opening.
Yeah,
That's going to be
tomorrow.
That's going to be the next segment. Is going to be Fargo Fun. Is going to be the grand opening. So we are going to take a little intermission, catch our breath here, and then when we come back, we'll have Fargo Fun. So don't go nowhere.